Hi everyone. So we're on to multiplication lesson 4. So we're using the expanded method. So as per usual, I'm just going to flick through a couple of slides, 3 slides for you to show you what the method is all about. Again, use these, flick back and just pause them as it gives you a good understanding of what's going on. So the expanded method is probably looking a little bit closer to what you may recognise, some of you may recognise from doing column multiplication. But the expanded method works a little bit like this. So we're setting it out in column as we have done with our addition and subtraction as well. Okay, but what we're doing is we're doing our partitioning as well at the top. So we've got 5 times by 5 here, and the answer is 25. We've got 1 times by 5, but that 1 isn't really 1, that's actually a 10. So that's 10 times by 5, which is 50. And recombining those together to get the answer of 75. Expanded method again. So I'm doing 3 times by 6, 18. Here I'm doing 40 times by 60. 40 times by 6 because that 4 is worth 40. So then that's taking me into another column. I've got mine into my hundreds there. 240, 40 times by 6 is 240. Recombine those together to get my answer. Have a look at one more. Okay, so this time I'm doing 147 times by 4. So I'm timesing each individual element again by the number. It's a bit like the grid method in its method, but it's a little bit simpler when we're setting it out. So we're doing 7 times by 4, which is 28. We're not doing 4 times 4, we're doing 40 times by 4, which gives us 160. And then we're doing 100 times by 4, which is giving us 400. We're doing as a column addition at the bottom. So the answer to 147 times by 4 is 588. Okay, so we're going to jump onto the big board now and run through a couple. And yeah, then you can have a go as well. Okay, so we're onto the big board now. So we're using the expanded method like we've just looked at on the PowerPoint. So my first calculation is, we've got 2 calculations here to do together, and then we'll have one to put some on there for you to have a go at. 16 times by 5. So I'm partitioning my number at the top. I'm doing 6 times 5 first of all, which I know gives me 30. And then that 1 I'm doing 1 times 5, but I'm actually doing that in its actual value, which is 10. So I'm doing 10 times 5, which is 50. Okay. Then I'm doing column addition, 0 add 0, 3 add 5, so 16 times by 5 is 80. I'll put the calculation up here as well. Is 80. Okay, so that's how I'm doing it. I'm partitioning, and when I'm writing my numbers, I'm keeping them in columns all the way along. So I've got 164 times by 4 here. So I'm doing 4 times 4, because that's units column. 4 times 4 is 16. So that's giving me 16 there. I've then got 6 times 4, but that's 60 times by 4. I can do it as 6 times 4. 6 times 4, so I could do 6, 12, 18, 24, and put the 0 on. 240. Okay, and then I've got 100 times by 4. 100 times by 4 is 400. Okay, so then I've got my column addition, so I've got 6, 1 add 4 is 5, and then 2 add 4 is 6. So there is 164 times by 4 equals 656. That's how I'm doing the expanded method. Tomorrow we're going to jump on to how to do the standard method, standard column multiplication. But again, that's a bit of a trick, so this shows us that we know what we're doing. So for you to have a go at, you're going to use your dice. So you can either do 2-digit, or you can do a 3-digit, or you can do a 4-digit if you wanted to. But let's do a 3-digit. Let's do a 2-digit to start off with. So let's do 47. So I've rolled my dice. I've got 47 times by 5. Okay, so I set it out. 47 times by 5. And my equal sign, and give myself a bit more space because I'm going to have 2 columns of 2 rows of numbers to do there. So I've got 5 times by 7. So now 5 times 7, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 here. And now I'm doing 4 times by 5, but that 4 isn't 4, it's 40, so 40 times by 5. So I can do 4 times 5, like within the grid method, can do 0 almost. 4 times by 5 is 20, put the 0 on, it gives me 200. Then all I need to do is add those numbers up. So I've got 5 times by 5 add 0 is 5, 3 add 0 is 3, 2 add is 2. So 47 times by 5, 235. Okay, fantastic there. Roll your dice again, generate another one. Let's do a trickier one. Let's do 564 times by 4. Okay, so this time I've got a 3-digit times by a 1-digit. So I'm going to write my calculation out. So I'm going to do 564 times by 4, and then I'm going to do, I've got a pin there, and I'm going to give myself a bit more space here so I can, so I'm going to have 3 columns of numbers, and I think I might go into the thousands as well. So I'm starting again, 4 times by 4, 16. This time I've got 6 times 4, but that 6 is actually 60 because it's in my tens column. And I always do it, so I can always do tens, units, hundreds, if I need to make it clear for myself. So I know that that 6 isn't 6 actually, it's 60. So 60 times by 4, well I could do 6 times 4, 24, put the 0 on, it's going to give me 240. Okay, then I've got 5 times by 4. 5 times by 4 is 20, but that's not 5, that's 500 because it's in my hundreds column there. So I've got 2 zeros that I need to put back on. So I'm going to do it's actually 500 times by 4, which is going to give me 2,000. Okay, and now all I need to do is my column addition. 6 add 0, 0 is 6. 1 add 4 is 5. 2 add 0 is 2. 2 add 0 is 2. So the answer is 2,256. Okay, so this is the expanded method. Tomorrow is going to be the standard method, but this expanded method shows us what's actually going on, what you're actually doing on each step. Use your dice, generate your numbers, have a go at a few of those, see how you get on. Catch you tomorrow.